WordPress SEO, and then after that we're going to take questions. We're actually doing really good on time. It's here at 9:20 or 10:20 Eastern, so this part won't take as long, but we're just going to cover doing some basic SEO things with your WordPress so that you can have a search engine friendly WordPress page. Now I recommend WordPress that you install WordPress for really either as your blog platform or as your main website platform. I really don't do any project without using WordPress in some way, and that's because search engines love it. I personally steer clear of Joomla just for the fact that out of the box it's a mess to deal with. It's basically, I've dealt with client sites that are on Joomla. It makes you go way too many steps to make it search engine friendly. The URLs are nasty as all get out. It's just not a good situation. You know, Joomla just, they don't care enough, I guess, about the SEO or anything, but WordPress really does a good job of, out of the box, it actually indexes well, even though it's still not all that search engine friendly, but just out of the box with no changes, it does decent for you. So definitely recommend you use WordPress. And one of the more popular uses of it, you know, is like whenever you launch a product page, for example, and you want to add content to it. You know, a lot of people, they have a sales letter, you know, and that's all on their website. So you want to add in a blog to your website. So you want to have, like, you know, your, let's say, you know, trafficgenerationblueprints.com/blog. You know, that's something that I would do, you know, when I launch this course out there. And, you know, that's the name of it. So trafficgenerationblueprints.com/blog. And that gives me an opportunity to have like a sales/squeeze page, you know, on the front end, and you aren't just stuck on a one-page site. Because remember, as you will recall at the SEO talk, you're only limited to target so many keyword phrases. So I can't type in, you know, video marketing, press release marketing, article marketing, SEO, training, and all this as one title tag. Those would all be separate posts or articles that I would want to write. Well, as far as managing the content, WordPress is great, and it acts as what's called a CMS, or content management system. So I just recommend just using WordPress, attaching it to your sales page, and it's a great way that you can get some good organic traffic to come to your website. And then on the right hand side, just put a banner to your homepage or sales page or squeeze page, whatever it is, and encourage them, you know, to go there. So if somebody finds my blog, let's say I do a post on video marketing online or something, you know, that's the keyword phrase, and somebody types in video marketing online, they come through to trafficgenerationblueprint.com/blog. Now that's not up there, so don't rush out and look at it, but that's how I'm going. I do have the domain, so don't try to buy it. But anyhow, the since, you know, I have the domain, you know, I just put in the /blog on there, and somebody finds my blog that way, and I have a little banner on the right side because I did good SEO and they find me for video marketing online. It's just another avenue somebody can come to my website, and it will actually help you out with Alexa, as I've seen with another guy on this call. It gives you a lot of benefits there, and so you definitely want to use WordPress in your business somehow. One thing I love WordPress for is just creating niche affiliate type sites. It's easy to do. Any kind of site, you know, any client I have, I recommend they use WordPress somehow in their business, and so I recommend you do the same. So here's how to make WordPress search engine friendly once you get it installed and uploaded. So once you get it, you know, basically once you get it uploaded, you're going to want to download the following basic SEO plugins for WordPress, and you're going to want to install them. Just so you guys know, so you don't have to sit there and download all these will also be available below the stream, and all these will be up within 24 to 48 hours. So you're going to have the press release little resources plus the SEO plugins I'm talking about here. Now there's a lot more SEO plugins. You know, I know some of you, you know, probably all know of some different ones. I know of some different ones, but these are some of the real basic ones, very basic ones that work well for search engine optimization. You know, because as it is, WordPress does a good job with SEO. All-in-one SEO, that's the name of the plugin. You're, again, going to see that in the back end. But if you do want to, if for some reason you guys want to get these all tonight, because it will take me a little bit of time to stream this video, it's a huge file when they're done. But, you know, go to Google and type in all-in-one SEO plugin. Go to Google, type in Google Sitemap Generator plugin. Go to Google and type in Sociable plugin. And, you know, you'll get the download pages for these. So, but again, I will have the links to these. So download these 3 core plugins. Now, all-in-one SEO is tremendous for SEO because it lets you change your title tags, which, again, I keep talking about title tags again. It lets you have a keyword-rich title tag for every single post you make. You can adjust your own title tag because by default, WordPress will actually make your will make your title tag be your article post of your blog. Now, sometimes that's okay, but not all the times, because, you know, sometimes a keyword like top 10 ways to get your ex back, you know, for example, that might not be a search phrase people look for, but it's an interesting subject that would bookmark well, meaning people would find it popular in Web 2.0 portals and come through to your site that way. But it may not be, basically it might not be the best as far as SEO goes, because a lot of times people may not type in top 10 ways to get your X back, but they might type in how to get your X back. So maybe you could, in your title tag, reword it a little bit, so it says how to get your X back, top 10 ways or something, so you're kind of still doing that sales approach I talked about with your title tag before to kind of sell the click. This all-in-one SEO gives you that ability. It gives you the ability to write out your own, your short little meta keywords, the meta description as well. That's so important for SEO. And it's just a great plugin to use. The Google Sitemap Generator, this is fabulous. It does a good job of creating the XML sitemap that search engines love, and even Yahoo and MSN look at these .xml search maps. They call it Google Sitemap Generator, but it works for Yahoo and MSN as well. And you could actually submit this to Google Webmaster Tools. So it's just Google Webmaster Tools if you want. I personally don't do a lot with Google Webmaster Tools. I probably could do more, but basically. It doesn't help me get indexed, or not indexed, but the Google Sitemap Generator, having just that sitemap on there will by default help all your pages on your site get indexed, but whether or not you're a member of Google Webmaster Tools, that's not going to impact things or not. But there's multiple uses for it. You can submit this XML sitemap to some different, to MSN's side of things, Yahoo's, Google. Just type in like submit sitemap or submit Yahoo sitemap, submit MSN sitemap or live search sitemap, or submit Google sitemap, something like that, and then submit the generated sitemap they give you. If you aren't even submitting those, at least you're just generating the sitemap using this plugin. It's very easy, and it will basically by default make sure all your posts get indexed, which as it is, WordPress does a great job of making sure your posts are indexed. You usually don't have to worry about it, and WordPress has a really good ping set in there, and I'm actually going to give you guys a ping list as well. Sociable is the other plugin. It's a social Web 2.0 plugin. We have not had a chance yet to really talk much about bookmarking. I've touched on OnlyWire and basically OnlyWire and how to do bookmarking that way, and how to do manual bookmarking with Dig. But Sociable and bookmarking is going to be covered next week as well. But with the Sociable plugin, it basically will enable other users to your website to bookmark your content, or it helps you as you're going through and bookmarking content, whatever the case might be. There's other Web 2.0 plugins out there. I personally like these three. You guys might have your other opinions, and that's fine. I like these just for basic, getting started out of the box SEO. So what I'm going to show you here is how to go about and actually take these plugins and install them correctly. So I'm actually going to take just a moment and pause the screen and then open up a new window for you guys to take a look at. Okay guys, so what I've got up here on my screen is I've got FileZilla open, and FileZilla is called it's FTP client, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. I'm sure many of you are familiar with FTP by now, but if you're not, if you're just starting out, getting into the web stuff, you can do some research on FTP clients. I could give you more of an overview of that, but this is more of a traffic course than technical training at this point. But if you guys do have questions on how to use this, feel free to submit a support desk ticket. But I am going to show you live how to use this tool. It's a free FTP client. FileZilla is. I do almost everything free. I love the free applications. There's no use paying for something. I'd rather spend $70 putting towards a press release on PR Web than I would spending on another FTP client kind of deal. So this one's free. Type in FileZilla into Google, and you will find the download page for it. So once you download FileZilla, you're just going to install it just like you would install Microsoft Word or any other program on your computer. You just download it, click on the executable file, go through the on-screen instructions, and it's set up. And what you're going to do then, once you're inside there, it's going to ask you for your host name, your username, your password, and your port. And all this data is typically going to be provided by your hosting company. I know especially if you have HostGator is hosting your site, or Bluehost or one of them, they do a good job of emailing you your information or making it easily accessible. Typically, it'll be like the password you use to log into your cPanel. control panel. If if you are hosted with them, you'll know what I mean by cPanel. When you're logged into your cPanel, that's usually the password that works right here. So, but if you need to call them, I know HostGator, Bluehost have 24-hour support. Some other hosting companies have support tickets. You can submit to them and say, I need my FTP information. Can you help me with that? Most of this data could also be found inside your control panel, which most hosting companies should have under the FTP area. So you're just going to put in that information. And you should have downloaded at this point, downloaded the plugins that I actually am going to give you guys or that you found online. You should have downloaded them to your actual computer. And what you're going to do then is they're going to come to you looking kind of like this. They're going to be a zip file with a little zipper on it. And so you can just right click and choose extract all. And again, I just use what my computer gives me. There's no need to have a special extracting program or something. You don't even need WinZip. Contrary to popular demand, you can just right click and extract these files, and that's what I prefer to do because again it's free and I don't have to install software. So I just right click and choose extract all, and it extracts the plugin. So what you're going to do when it extracts them is sometimes it will, depending on where you download the plugin from, but it's going to actually give you the plugin. It might put the plugin to what's called what I call a subfolder. So for example, like this plugin right here that I just did, notice how if I click here, notice how it brings up another folder, and puts it right there. You're going to want to actually take it out of the subfolder. So you're going to want to take this little folder and move it. So I just like to highlight it and I copy it, and I'll just move it out over here to this one. Copy and paste it out of there and replace that one. And the reason you do that is because WordPress typically won't read that internal folder, and so so that's the best bet, especially with these 3 plugins, so that in case you run into that, that's what the issue is. And again, if you have questions on these plugins, just let me know. But once you've extracted the plugins, you're just going to log into your hosting account. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here, and we're going to go right on over to the website that we're working on, the Tulsa, Oklahoma chiropractor site. So let's just jump right down here. And go ahead and choose WP-content. WP-content, that's the folder you're going to go for your WordPress. So you're going to go to WP-content, and you are going to choose plugins. Once you've selected plugins, you're going to notice I've already uploaded these 3 basic ones, but I'll show you the process just so you guys know how it works. Basically, you just take this. You want to just make sure that the files are all there. But you just highlight it. You can right click and choose upload, or you could take this file and you could actually drag it over here if you wanted to. That's another option. Or you could highlight using the control key, highlight whichever ones you want to upload. So notice how I just did that. Or you could just do control A, and that'll highlight all of them, and then you could right click and upload all of those if you wanted to. So that's an idea. I'm just going to take another one here and just plug it in. Google Analytics is another plugin you need, but as I'll cover next week, we're going to go into that a little more in depth. And you don't necessarily have to have their plugin. I actually find it's just as easy to copy and paste their code on there, but just so you guys see how it uploads, and then it gives you a little status thing down here. But once you've uploaded the plugin, you're ready to go. And the same thing will apply if you happen to download a WordPress theme. Just on kind of a side note, you're going to upload that to the themes folder. Whoops. So you're actually going to upload that to the themes folder by double clicking on themes. So that's how you go about doing that, and then I just hit that red X to clear out of there, and we're going to minimize this screen, and we're going to just jump right into the website now. So I'm going to go right on over here to the website. So you see on my screen now, I'm in the WP-admin is where I went to, so it's your website, wherever your blog is. So in most cases it's yourwebsite.com/blog/WP-admin, depending on how you set up your blog. And you're just going to go there and you're just going to log in. Now I'm using RoboForm. It really helps me speed up the process. It's a tool I recommend you guys get for a lot of this SEO and link building and submission type work. It really will help you out a ton. So go ahead, once you log in here, you're going to be looking for the plugins folder in particular. So in this example, I'm going to be looking for plugins over here on the left hand side, And what you're going to notice here is, let me just deactivate these for you guys so you guys see exactly how it's going to look for you. So okay, so you're over here and yours is going to say, recently active, or it'll just say, your plugin options when you first install them. And you're just going to choose activate your plugin. So just click on activate right there. It's very easy, very basic process. So what you're going to do, you first upload the plugins. If the plugins show up here, it means they were installed correctly. And then you just choose activate the plugins. And so that is that step. So you need to install and activate these 3 core plugins that I'm talking about. So the next step is you're going, and you guys kind of can sneak ahead there. So we're going to go right on to setting up your permalinks. So your permalinks is kind of how your URL structure is going to look, and that's an important search engine optimization factor. So I'm over here on WordPress, and here you can take a look at the back end here. At the left side under settings is where you're going to go to do your permalink. So it's the left hand side is where you're going to do everything in WordPress 2.7, and you're going to choose permalinks. So in this case I'm going to just select permalinks down here on the left hand side, and what you're going to choose is actually custom structure. Custom structure, and this is the exact string you're going to type in here. /% sign, which you get by hitting shift and the number 5 key at the top of your keyboard. Type in the word post name, shift %, /, and then what you're going to do after that is choose save changes, and your permalinks are going to be set up correctly now. So again, it's /, it's custom structure, so it's settings on the left hand side, permalinks, custom structure, /, %, post name, %, /. And what this is going to do for you, it's going to make your links, so it's going to take actually the title of your post, and it's going to actually turn them into what's called a permalink. And it's really a good search engine friendly thing, because by default most of your posts will have your keyword in there, and it's just another thing. It just puts nice little dashes between each word, and it does a tremendous job of making your blog search engine friendly. So at this phase you should have installed and activated the plugins and should have gone through with your permalink. So we're just going to go on to the next step here. So the next thing that you're going to do in this process is you want to set up what's called a ping list. So you want to set up so that every time you make a post, it will automatically do pinging for you. Now they automatically set up that site pingomatic.com that I was showing you. They automatically have that actually queued up. So whenever, I'm assuming that Pingomatic's the same way, but WordPress automatically has it queued up to where whenever you make a new post of any sort, it will automatically go out and ping that, ping the website, so that it tells those blog and ping places that your site has been updated and modified. So they'll go in and update their little databases, and that helps you get spiders, activities to your site. It helps with indexing. I can make blog posts and with literally hours have that blog index, and sometimes minutes you can have new blog posts indexed using a nice ping list, which I do actually provide for you guys, a ping list. And so I'll show you how to set up your ping list. So what you're going to do right back over here under settings, you're going to choose writing, and then you're going to scroll down under writing to where it says update services, and you're going to see here it's going to say Pingomatic. And you would actually, if you want to, I've got a larger ping list, you could actually just take that ping list and just copy and paste it right in here in the update services area. So that's how another great way you can make WordPress 2.7 and WordPress search engine friendly. More search engine friendly because it helps get spider bots back to your site. It just helps get your, every time you submit, it will ping it to 10 or 12 different pinging sites that will then again ping it out to who knows how many sites. You get a lot of pings, a lot of activity on your site, and there's a list that I will provide for you. That's a great list. All you're going to do with this list is take it and copy and paste it right in here, over this Pingomatic URL. So you would just highlight this one or just delete it and then paste in whatever I have. And then when you're done with these changes, just choose save changes. So again, at this phase now, you should have gone in and set up your permalinks, installed and activated your plugins, and then the next thing you should have done is set up that ping list, fix the permalinks, and then there's one final step I'll show you here in a second. Okay, so the final step, and I'm just going to make you come back here to take a look at it, is to set up your all-in-one SEO plugin. This is and your other plugins. So you want to now set up your other plugins. So downloading them and installing them by uploading them, that's one thing. Now, if you're going to be doing several WordPress sites, I just like creating a folder called like WordPress plugins and themes, just so you know it. So then you can just automatically reference that folder and jump right in there. But basically, you want to set up your all-in-one SEO now. So what you're going to do that is go back to the blog. So I'm just going to head back there. And we're going to go back to the WordPress 2.7 view, and you're going to select under settings. You're actually going to see where it has your different blogs set up. So you're going to see all-in-one SEO right there. And in this case, what it's going to do is give you, it's going to tell you the home title. And this is where you type in your nice search engine friendly title tag, where you include your keywords there, and this is just for your home page. And then it's going to tell you your home description. So you're going to say find a trusted Tulsa, Oklahoma chiropractor, and that's like your meta description. And then you plug in your meta keywords. You only need to do this once, or unless you decide to update your title tags, you can go back in here. And I just keep their default settings where it says post title format. I usually take off where it says blog title. So there's a little dash in the middle, or a up and down line in the middle. I'll take that out and just leave post title, and I'll do the same for page title. And so that means that the post title, or basically whatever's set inside there for the post, is going to be the title tag. Now basically all-in-one SEO, and I'll show you in a second, whenever you're making posts, will enable you to create your own unique title tags at the bottom of your post. So go ahead and choose update options after that, because I just leave everything else the same, and that's easy enough. Now, still going on about all-in-one SEO, when you're adding your new content to WordPress, what you're going to see back here is back here when you make your post, you type in your post. So we'll just say test post, and you want to just say this is a test. So you put in your post, you copy and paste it however you do it. Put in your tags for your post. That's a good thing, search engine friendly thing to do. Whatever, tags, keywords related to your post, put that in there. And then scroll down until you see, it say all-in-one SEO. Now, one thing you can do with WordPress 2.7 if you want to is you can actually take and grab this, and you could actually drag it up here so it's a little more accessible for you, which I would recommend doing because you're going to use it a lot. And then you just type in your title tag. So, for example, this title tag is test post. But if I wanted to make my title tag keyword rich, for something related to test post, so this is a test, might be my keyword phrase. And I know that's a really poor example, so let's use something different, like weight loss tips. And so you kind of see the difference. And let's say that your post happens to do with top 25 weight loss resources. Maybe that's your article. And top 25 type articles, like I mentioned last week, do really well. Top, any kind of top type article does a great job. But, so for example, top 25 weight loss resources may not be a searched for phrase, but weight loss tips might be better searched for. Weight loss resources, weight loss tips, weight loss information. So you guys get the idea. Using the AdWords keyword tool, you can identify the core keywords related to your article, use those in the title, create yourself a nice, solid, unique meta description, sell them on the click in that meta description and include that keyword, and then put in your keyword tag right there. And then that's where you have all-in-one SEO all set up. The final thing you're going to do then is go in and we're just going to navigate away from that page. Go right on over to settings again, and this time you're going to just choose sociable one more time. And inside sociable, you could actually set this up differently if you want to. Like for example, there's some different things inside sociable that people use, a little more frequently, that might relate to your site. So like if you have a business site, you might offer a LinkedIn option on there because that might help build some credibility that way. You might offer a Twitter option, like, so you just look around here for, Tumblr for twit this, so that's one I want to add. So I could just click on that because I want to add it. And then you could choose Save Changes. And notice how it brought that up there. And let's say that I want to get rid of Spin, which that one's actually good. Facebook, Dig. Let's say I want to get rid of Google. Their bookmarking tool isn't that great right now. I decide. So let's just plug that in. And let's say that we want to grab another popular one. Like let's say, let's just use live.com, MSN's logo. Or let's use the LinkedIn logo. And Mr. Wong, he's a good one. There we go. So we'll use Mr. Wong and LinkedIn. Mr. Wong gives you a good, Mr. Wong's a good one to write back, because he does give you a good search engine friendly backlink to your site that they can follow, no problem. So there you go, Digs, Fin, Delicious. And then if you wanted to reorder these, you could certainly do that. So let's say that you want to drag this and reorder these. Excuse me, it is not letting me do that. But you should be able to drag and order those if you want to. But that's how you set up your sociable. And then the next thing with your Google XML sitemaps, you're just going to go over here to XML sitemap, and you just need to do this once, but it says the sitemap wasn't built yet, and it says click here to build it for the first time. I'm not going to do that because I don't have content on here. But that's how you set up your XML sitemaps. That's in the left-hand side under settings, and you can watch this video as many times as you need to go back through. So